Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our discussion of Once Upon a Kprom. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Let us know that you're here and who all read Once a What?
Yoon held up her copy. I'm like, I just have my Kindle. Now it doesn't really show you what it is.
I'm just so stunned by this cover and like the bingo board you created, Tiffany, and how it used the colors. I just was like so amazed. Like
Oh, thank you.
it's
It
gorgeous.
matches so well.
I was very
Yes.
proud of that bingo board. I spent way more time on it than I did on my own summer book bingo board.
It turned out really nice, though.
Thank you.
It really did.
Christy, what edition of the book did you get? Like, was it one of the...
That's a good question. I have a library copy.
Have you checked underneath the dust jacket? Because I know some of the earlier ones have, like, this underneath also.
Oh,
Like an extra
Ooh.
one. I'm just curious.
Oh, mine looks white. It's boring.
But
that's
isn't
very
this
cute.
fun?
That is super cool.
I love it.
Camera.
Wow. Like a poster. That's amazing.
That's cute.
I love that they actually had drawings of all the members of WDB.
Yes.
That was super fun.
Yes. I love the little bios too at the end of some of the chapters.
Those were
Yes.
so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming. Wow, I love that edition, Yoon. Was that one available elsewhere or just in Korea? Do you know?
I think this one was actually because it was like the first print because I had pre-ordered it. So I think it was like the first runs until it ran out, and then when they reprinted it.
Okay. Oh, those are always the nice ones.
So it's really hard. They always do something special most of the time.
Yeah. I love that you're into like actually collecting because your editions are really gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is kind of, I don't know, like not guilty pleasure, but I do always go for the prettier covers that I think are pretty.
I mean, that's great because I'm sure publishers want to know which editions everybody wants, you know.
That's true. That's true.
And being a pre-order person too, they love you. You are like the publishers love you and authors. Well, so okay, should we start off with like general ratings of this book? And
Yeah.
like a general couple thoughts? Do you want to start, Tiffany?
Sure.
Okay.
So I gave it 3 stars. Because I am definitely not the target audience. Just because I'm in my mid-30s. So there are certain things that I didn't enjoy about it as much just because they're kind of like common YA tropes that just aren't really relatable to me at this stage of life. If there's like any like teen or college age girl that loves K-pop, like this is their book. Like this is great. And I ended up having a lot of fun with it. At first, I didn't love it at first because I just don't like Elena that much, which we can talk about later. But once I started, like we were talking about this before we went live, like this book is very self-aware of what it is doing, and it mentions so many times, this is like a K-drama. This feels like a K-drama. He looks just like a guy in a drama. It like happens over and over and over again. Like I counted at least 10 times that she did that. Mm-hmm. And once I started seeing it in my brain as I was reading it like there was a drama playing, I started having way more fun with it.
I think lending your imagination to it really helps. Visualizing everything that's happening. It really was it was written kind of like it was meant to be a K-drama, you know, like super visual.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And having all the boys illustrated out, I just can't get over that. That was so fun. So, Yoon, do you want to share your general rating and thoughts? And in the comment section, everybody, please also share your general thoughts.
I think for this reread, I'm rating it just like a 4-star because I definitely wasn't as like in the greatest like state as I was when I first read it. So this one was a little bit more secondhand embarrassment. A little bit more like, okay, like a very K-drama-y, like tropey book. But I still had a lot of fun. I think my favorite part is still the member profiles. Like, I love that aspect because I think if you're a K-pop fan, you have at one point gone to like this group K-pop profiles.
Yes.
So I think that was just a really fun element to add in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it. I was a bit more invested in the drama that happens this time around. Before, I think I was more in the romance, but now I was like, oh my gosh, like he lied to her.
How dare you?
Like, what is he gonna do to like get her forgiveness? And stuff like that.
Oh, it's interesting to hear your thoughts, how they change on like a first read versus a second read.
I will say, like the first read, I immediately skipped the singing scene because I can't deal with lyrics or singing scenes. I don't know about you guys, but if I see lyrics, I'm like, bye, let's skip it.
I felt like Elena reading that, like, you're doing this at her school? You should have asked.
Yeah.
You should have asked. Oh, that was just like brutal.
The chapter before when Robbie was talking to one of the members and like, I know girls, or like, I know what you need to do. A big gesture. I was like, oh no.
No. Not this girl. Not this girl. Especially about prom. Oh, yeah. I feel like that's accurate though with teenagers. They do not know how to communicate. They literally don't know. They don't know how to communicate. So, and I can relate. So maybe I should talk about this at a different time, but I do want to mention that I felt like with Robbie, like one of my main problems with him was that he stopped talking to her and didn't even tell her. Like he just didn't send her a Kakao Talk when he was losing his cell phone, just to be like, hey, just so you know, I'm not gonna have a cell phone for like a couple years or anything.
Oh, that's true.
But it's like also like I've done that as an adult and forgotten to like connect with people on a regular enough basis. So of course, a teenager who's so busy, that could happen. I need to have more grace for Robbie.
He was grieving too. He just lost his dad. So was that at the forefront of his mind saying, hey, I'm not going to have a cell phone when he's like being shoved into this so he'll like forget about his dad and not be as sad, basically.
That's a good point too. I feel like you understood Robbie, Tiffany.
I did at certain points. There were some things that happened at the end that I was just like, this is stupid. But we can get to that later. So
yes.
I'm talking general rating right now. There's one thing that really bugged me at the end that I definitely want to talk about.
Yes. Okay, we're going to have to get there. Yoon's looking forward to the drama. All right. So Crystal said it was the same for her as for Tiffany. As a 45-year-old, some of the teen stuff didn't connect with her, but the K-pop and K-drama stuff kept me interested for sure. It was a fun 3-star read.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yes.
Hi,
and Summer. Hi. I just happened to read this week, and then I saw the notification. Yeah. Winning.
Amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming to chat. Yeah. So I pretty much feel like I think the same as you guys. Like I rated it 3 stars. I feel like the cover was exactly like the cover promised exactly what we were getting, and I felt like it delivered exactly what I was hoping for and expecting. So I really enjoyed it. Even though I had like I mean, there was things that weren't like it felt like it was very young, which is, I think, probably it's written for teenagers, so of course
Right.
it's gonna feel young. But like even the writing felt like young to me. And so that's partly why I lowered it. And then partly some like of the character moments didn't totally ring true, and some of like the K-pop moments didn't totally ring true for me. But honestly, I just had such a good time with it that I mean my criticisms are very minimal. I felt like the plot was really what kept me coming back. And then I was like really pleasantly surprised at the ending at some of the character like insights, how it was all wrapped up. I thought I really loved the ending. I thought that was great. So yeah, that's my general thoughts. So why don't we move on to what K-drama tropes this book hit?
What K-drama tropes did this book not hit?
Yeah.
Because dang, like it is. I was like, this is the book for Ktropeathon. Like for real.
Wow.
Yes. That is so true. So I feel like some of the big moments of the books too were like, oh yeah, that's a K trope right there. So there was dating scandal, obviously, because the Sunmi dating, and then also Elena and Robbie.
Right.
And then we had prioritizing the son of the family. That's another thing that happens in K-dramas quite a bit, where Elena is like not as like her brother gets better attention, I guess I would say, from her mother in particular. That's something that happens a lot in K-dramas. And then childhood friendship between the love interests. That was another thing that's like really common in K-dramas.
And
So
webtoons nowadays.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What webtoon tropes did you notice?
Webtoon, I think that one was like the biggest one though, because a lot of the nowadays, like if there's a romance budding, there's a really high chance that at one point they did meet in their past. Like maybe they weren't friends, but that wasn't their first time meeting. So there was already like that rapport going on. So I was like, oh my gosh, this happens in webtoons.
That's fun.
That is fun. Did you end up reading? Sorry.
No, I was changing the subject, so go ahead. I was moving on.
I was too, actually. Well, I was just gonna ask you if she read any webtoons for Ktropeathon.
I read, I want to say, maybe Just So Leveling.
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't think of other webtoons that had tropes. I couldn't like think properly at that time, so I was just like, So Leveling.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did read. Did I read the webtoon for Debut or Die? But maybe Debut or Die also, or at least I was considering that one.
Debut or Die? Oh, that sounds fun. I need to read that.
Yes, because idol webtoons or manhwas have been becoming more popular too. So I like Debut or Die. The art is also really
I'm checking that out. Thank you.
Please.
Debut or Die. The title is fun.
Yes.
And there's so many like there's so many idol like creation shows right now. Like trying to become an idol. It's like a reality show where people are trying to become idols. So that was really fun. Was there any other tropes that you guys wanted to talk about?
Well, we've got the famous boy, and then, the girl that's shy and doesn't want to be in like the limelight. And how many times did she fall and he caught her? That happened a lot. The clumsy girl and the boy that like catches her every time. That happened multiple times.
That is so K-drama.
Yes.
Did anyone fall asleep on anyone else's shoulder? Because I don't think that I saw that, but that happens in every drama too. So like,
I don't think we got falling asleep a lot.
I didn't think so either.
Mm-mm.
So.
Dia's here. Hi, Dia. Welcome. We were just talking about K-drama tropes that Once Upon a K-prom hit, but I know that you don't watch a ton of K-dramas, so I don't imagine you have a lot to say on this topic. So, well, why don't we move on? Unless, is there any more that you thought of?
Would Josie be a trope because of like the best friend or something?
Oh,
I don't
Yeah.
watch enough K-dramas to like know for sure. But
I feel
I'm
like that
watching
is
one.
not just K-drama, but also like American like teenage rom-com trope where like the best friend is totally opposite of like
Right?
the shy
Mhm.
girl and pushing her out of her comfort zone,
Mhm.
and you know, the two friends in the friend group being in love, you know, because Josie
Mhm.
goes to the prom with the guy Max, I think. And
Yeah.
so so
Oh,
like I
yeah.
feel like I see that a lot in American dramas or like teen kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of another one. A lot of people ended up with another in a romantic relationship by the end of the book. I don't think all of the members of WDB did they?
No,
Mhm.
most of them didn't
Okay.
have a girl, just JD and Robbie,
Okay.
I think. But still,
Okay. But quite a few people did. But in K-dramas, a lot of times, you know, there's like multiple couples that end
yeah.
up together by the end. Just people
Mhm.
that you were like, there was no connection to them. By the end, they have a connection, you know?
Mhm.
Okay, Crystal says, I think the sweeping gestures were very K-drama too. Yes, like
Yeah.
the promposal, Elena getting clothes from the other idol. Yes, yes. And the ending scene. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
The
so
ending
that,
song.
yeah.
That's true.
Okay,
That's
all
very
great
tropey.
points.
Hmm.
The I forgot about the kind of makeover moment. She had her Disney princess makeover moment, you know.
Mhm.
And that's
I
a
had
teen
never,
thing too. Every like
yeah,
montage of the girl getting ready for like whatever, and all of a sudden the nerdy girl, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, she's hot now."
yeah. I feel like that's not as much a K-drama trope, but it's like very much like goes with the theme of this readathon because it is in a lot of these like teen romance type things.
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah.
haven't watched a lot of more teen K dramas. I haven't watched a lot of like high school setting ones.
That's
So it's
actually
very
true. I haven't
possible that
either.
that's really
Mm.
common in more high school K dramas.
That's a good point. I haven't watched any teen ones either, actually.
I've only watched like Sound of Magic and 2521 are the only kind of teen-ish ones that I've watched. So
Hmm. Okay. Is Shy Girl needs art? Yeah. Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes. Us Shy Girls. Okay. I was like, are you talking about like eyes, like MBT eyes? Yeah. I was like, yes, we do. Yes, such typical. Nobody ever.
me either. But I need to take off my glasses. I know that. Otherwise, I'm not hot. I've learned that from movies. You let down your hair and you take off your glasses, and all of a sudden, the nerdy girl's hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although I don't think Elena wore glasses, but I'm just saying.
Oh man. All right. Let's unless anybody else has tropes they want to talk about, we can move on. Okay. So, we touched on this briefly in our overall thoughts, but let's talk a little bit about what we liked and what we didn't like.
Tiffany said she had a lot of things she didn't like at the end, right?
Yoon is ready for this
I
drama.
have a very big complaint about Robbie's apology to Elena.
Okay,
A
let's
big
hear it.
complaint.
Okay.
And the girl idol does the same thing when she comes to Elena's house to try to convince her to forgive Robbie.
Mm.
They both say, Well, he was really young when he was thrust into this K-pop world, so he's emotionally stunted.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this, well, boys will be boys. They're not as emotionally mature as girls, so you just gotta have to be okay with that. They're just gonna lie to you. And I'm like, dude, that's stupid. And also, he seems way more emotionally intelligent than Elena has seemed this entire book.
Yes.
So I thought that
Okay.
was really, and I also just kind of didn't like, I liked Elena more at the end because you could see the self-awareness that was happening. But I'm like, dude, you're so selfish. And you think you're not like other girls like that. Oh, like, I'm so much different. No one is like me. And I'm like, that's not true. But at the end, when she like starts talking to Ethan and Robbie and stuff, and is kind of realizing like, oh my gosh, I misinterpreted all these things. And I made it all about me, and I quit the second anything got hard. I'm like, okay, I started liking her more at the end. But I hated that excuse, and I was like, the apology would have been good enough without both Robbie and the idol girl saying, he's just emotionally stunted. He's been in this world, and he doesn't know how to really behave. I'm like, that's not a good enough reason, because none of the other guys in this group were like, let's lie to everyone. Like, you know, like I don't know, that I was just like, I feel like that's just like almost like this boys will be boys kind of excuse, and I didn't like it. That was my biggest issue with the whole book, actually, was that.
Fair.
How about you,
Yoon? Well, first, I did say the singing scene. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I felt more this reread, when I first read it, I was kind of disappointed at how her whole, like, the feeling of being kind of neglected by her parents and, like, arguing with her mom had, like, zero conclusion of any sort in the, like, but then I think I also felt that way with her brother. But then rereading it, I was like, okay, as kind of like, as this feels, I do think that's like how siblings are. So it was a bit more like, okay, like they reached an understanding, I think, that siblings tend to do. But because I was like, why would there be so much of the family focus, but then nothing really happens out of it, I guess? Because I was like, in a book, I feel like there's got to be some sort of conclusion. But then nothing happened.
Yeah, you kind of hope that her mom will like change a little bit, because she is like maybe, so obviously favoring Ethan.
Yeah, or like maybe like Elena would like call her out on it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Instead it kind of seems like Ethan's just like, you misinterpreted all of this, which I can see where she misinterpreted some of it.
Yeah.
Like why her and Ethan aren't close anymore, and how he's like, it seemed like you didn't want to be with me. Like, it seemed like you were shutting me out, and I felt left out, so I just stopped trying. Like, that makes sense. But you're right. With like the parent and the family stuff, it just seemed like he was like, you're just misinterpreting this. And I'm like, was she though? Because it seemed pretty blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all really good points. And I forgot to put this up, but Crystal agrees with Tiffany about why Robbie was acting a certain way. I feel like too with Ethan was like, you know, this favoritism stuff was hard on me too. I was like, you know what? You can stop with that, because no. These boys, I tell ya.
Yeah.
Yes, this is so true.
I agree with that.
You have to have a full conversation, and everybody can explain their full point of view, and that's fine. You know, you have to talk these things out, though. Otherwise, if they're not unpacked, there's going to be issues remaining in your relationship. So I guess I would just hope that Robbie and Elena, if they continue dating, that they really learn how to communicate. And that lying is bad, because did we cover that in this book? I don't know.
Yeah, it's that kind of seemed like the lying was kind of like excused, like he had a good enough reason for it. Which, yeah, I mean, like, that's why I felt like he didn't need a caveat. He could have just said like, yeah, this was wrong and I'm sorry. And I realized it. And by the time I realized it, it was too late to fully back out. And that would have been fine. He didn't need to say, and I'm emotionally stunted, so I made the wrong choice. Like, I was like, just take that sentence out of both of those explanations, and this would have been totally fine.
Yeah, so I guess I reacted to this a little bit differently because when Ethan and Sunmi, I forget which one of them said that when I felt this way, but when one of them said that, I was like, I can see that because if you go into an idol training company when you're 10 and literally all you're doing all day long is classes for your learning for Korean, for your dancing, for songwriting, for whatever other things they have classes for, they still have school. So I can see why he might not have ever really dated or really learned how to communicate with anybody beyond his members because that's who he's with. But it just seems like so many idols are educated on how to communicate very clearly because you kind of have to if your group is going to survive, for one thing.
Yeah.
But I think that that's something that they cover. So in one sense, I kind of buy it. He's probably never dated anybody before. But in another sense, it was kind of like, you have to be pretty emotionally mature to get along with 5 other people or however many, boys, living in constant close quarters all the time. But then again, boys are different than girls. So maybe, I don't know. I guess being an Enneagram 9, I kind of bought it a little bit more.
It just seemed like he did better emotionally for the most part in this book than she did. And that's why it didn't ring true for me. That's why I was kind of like, I felt like he was better at expressing his emotions. Like, yes, he did drop off at times because he was trying to process. And he should have been like, hey, I need some time to work through this. I'll talk to you in a couple days. But when he did talk to her, he usually was better at expressing his feelings and emotions than Elena was. And so I was just kind of like, that doesn't seem like a good excuse because it didn't seem like he acted that way for the most part.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good point. He was a little inconsistent to me. Because when it turned out that he was lying to her this whole time, I was like, I don't think so. Like, I just really was like, this is not really the character that we've gotten to know or seemed to get to know. Like, I don't know. He just seems very genuine, emotions out on the surface. And he was always telling her, you have to talk to me, you can't just spiral, and then he does that. So, yeah, I feel like that was one reason why I did rate it lower, was because his character seemed a little inconsistent in that way. But I want to talk about the things that I liked too, because I just like to do that, I guess. I really liked Elena's focus on volunteering. I actually really liked Elena. Not that she was perfect, and she definitely had some hangups, but I really liked her. It made me really like her as a person, that she was really focusing all her energies on this community center. And I just thought she seemed really realistic for the type of person that she is. Like, I just felt like she really came across as a real person, as like a real teen girl who's uptight, stressed, kind of upset about everybody leaving her alone, and especially with her mom's favoritism, and definitely misunderstanding people, but definitely not talking it out with them. No, that's off the table. No talking things out. So she just seemed like so realistic to me, and I really enjoyed her. And obviously, I said I loved the cover art so much, and all the illustrations of the boys. And I thought I enjoyed Elena's friendships as well with other women. I thought that those were good. Sometimes when Elena was with the friend that's her age, like when she just like steals her friend's pizza and eats a bite, it's like, hello, that's her food. Like, I don't know. There were times when she did stuff like that, and she's like, I deserve carbs and cheese. And I was like, but it's your friend's food. Like, come on. So, but yeah, in general, I really felt like there were so many fun plot beats that I was like looking forward to, and they delivered. I was looking forward to this moment so much. and I loved that at the end. So I guess liked it was a 3 stars is pretty much what Tiffany and I both gave it. So we were like right around the same area in that way.
Yeah, I loved when they did like the dance practice video, and then Elena ends up in it. And I loved when she goes to K-Fest in Chicago and gets to be backstage, and like there are so many like K-pop elements like that I thought were so much fun. And I loved like the dynamic of the boys in the group and the way that they would joke around and their bios that were at the end of certain chapters. Like there were a lot of things that were like really fun, and that's what made me like enjoy it.
What about you, Yoon? Was there anything in particular you really liked?
In particular, I have to say, for this story, I enjoyed the drama that happened when she finds out he's been lying to her about everything.
I knew it. She was into the drama. Yes.
Because it was like lighthearted enough that it wasn't too stressful, but it was dramatic enough that I could like enjoy it. I was like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do now?
It's like the eating popcorn moment where you're like, all right, come on, let's go. Been waiting the whole book for this. Because you know it's going to come. You know she's going to find out.
Yes.
But it's like, how is she going to find out? So I thought that was a very fun drama.
I agree.
It was interesting how it played out. Like how he posted a picture of her on their Instagram, like starting to kind of get everybody used to the idea of members dating. I was like, yeah, at that moment I was so excited, you know. I didn't expect that at all. It was like so out of the blue that I was just like, okay, this is getting real good, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the motivation for why he was doing it either. Because I was like, why would he do this? And then when you find out it's because of JD and him loving this other girl and them secretly dating for a while, that it's like, oh, okay. Like
drama.
like that's kind of cute though. Like that he's doing it for, and also for his own music as well. But you know, that he cares that much about his cousin.
Yeah.
I will say, I was not a big fan of JD because of like how uncaring he seemed. Like, you may not know Elena, but this is a real person. But he's just like, this is for the sake.
She won't care.
And my relationship, and like he knows this is Robbie's like childhood friend and a girl he likes and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was my least favorite member of the group.
Yeah.
Same.
Kind of, yeah.
But I guess, is it because he's the leader that he feels like he has to be like focused and hard and like I can't have feelings?
No, I was like, no, the scene where she catches what's the girl's name?
I can't remember. It starts with an S.
Was it?
Right? I can't remember her name.
Sunmi?
Sunmi.
Is that right? Was that it?
Starts with an S.
I think it's Sooyoung, yeah.
Sooyoung?
Oh, Sooyoung? Yeah, Sooyoung, yeah.
Like, when she catches Sooyoung and JD, I was like, bro, she went to get water. Of course she's gonna come back. Like, what were you doing?
That was like, not the brightest moment.
That was not the best time. Like, she is coming. She just went to get water. That doesn't take very long. And then he had the balls to be mad at her. I was like, bro, this is on you guys.
Like
how have you kept it a secret this long?
The opposites of Sooyoung and JD. It's like,
yes.
I thought that was real. That's like, there's another trope for you, I guess. All the opposites attracting here. Because like Sooyoung's like sunshiny and so sweet and down to earth, and JD's like cold and aloof, and everyone thinks he feels nothing, but he's in love with her.
Oh, she was great. I loved Sooyoung.
I liked her a lot. She was one of my favorite characters. I really liked her.
And then she gets a new deal at the end. Yes. That was exciting. I loved that wrap up. That was great.
That was a nice wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I loved Elena in in Seoul at the end, like teaching at the school.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I
Yes.
love this. I
had
really
mine.
like standing.
Yeah. It was very like, yeah, very K-drama, I guess.
Yes, very much so.
So
I
Summer
agree
says,
with this. I do think that was why I was more irritated, because I think that her selfishness was way more focused on, even though she did have some good points and she cared about charitable things and other people, but it seemed like the book chose to focus on her selfishness more. And that's
I will
probably
get
why
right
she
back.
irritated me more.
My doorbell is ringing.
oh, okay. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, there are books that really lean hard into a character, especially a main character's faults, so that you can see their character growth in the end. Maybe that's what was happening. I didn't really think about it that much because I was just listening to it, but maybe that's why, so that they could show her becoming aware of other people better, more
Yeah.
aware of them. Not for me. I can't help comparing this to the other like K-poppy type books that I read this month. There was one that I liked the writing of far more than this one, but the character flaw of the main character was so bad that I could not get out of the 30% range. Whereas with Elena's, I was enjoying it the whole way through. Even though I could see that she had flaws, I was like still totally rooting for Elena. And then there was another book that I read that was like totally different, and I actually rated that one 5 stars. But I won't talk about that one too much here. But I couldn't help comparing this one to the one that I DNF'd at 30% because I was like, hey, I enjoyed this one all the way through. So yeah, I was all over the map with these books. By the way, Yoon, I know you said you might have to leave early, so if you need to go, just go. Don't worry about
I think I can hold on for a few more minutes, then I have to get ready to go.
Okay.
Well,
perfect.
before you go, Yoon, can we do the bias question? Because I want to know Yoon's answer to
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
Mine would have to be Moonster.
Mhm.
And I think Moonster number 1, and then maybe Taehyung as like kind of. Because I think Taehyung, I didn't see him pop out a lot, but I did like the moments he did. But for me, Moonster did steal the show.
Mhm.
I really loved Moonster too, but I also really love Jaehyung. So
Yeah.
my answer is like the exact same as yours, because I love Jaehyung's like focus on food all the time, and in his bio,
Yes.
it's like his ideal type is a girl who likes to eat. And I'm like, I love that. But Moonster, his ideal girl is Bae Suzy, who is like in several K-dramas I've watched, and she's like one of my favorite K-drama actresses. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love her. She's the
Oh my
cutest
gosh.
ever. So I thought that was really fun. But they included some real people in the bios.
I loved that too. There was like people who were friends with different members that I also love, and that made me love them.
Yes. Yes. Who's your bias, Christy?
Oh, I really liked both of the ones that you guys were just talking about, Moonster and Jihyung. Like, yeah, I agree with everything that everybody said. I was just looking. I didn't. What?
I was just gonna say I love that no one said JD and no one said Robbie.
I mean, I liked Robbie too, but
I liked him, but he would not be my bias based on based on the bios and how they present themselves.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been my bias if this was a real group.
Yes.
Except for the fact that he loves puns. I'm a big fan of that. That was the biggest thing Robbie has going for him in like his bio and stuff. And in this thing that you posted, Christy, that has like a little rundown with a link.
Isn't that cute? I love that Kat Cho had those out. And there was a quiz too. I tried to find the quiz, but I could not find the quiz. There's a quiz about how to find who your bias is in WDB. And I was like, I want to do it.
Oh my gosh, I want to
Yeah.
find it.
I think I really tried. I don't know if it's still available because it was a bit.ly link.
Mm,
So I don't know if it's like gone now or what. But yeah, if you guys find it, send it my way.
I will.
Now I'm like looking over the bios. That was
Oh my
the
gosh,
one
I found
question.
it.
Oh, that
You
was
did?
so fast. That
I
was
googled
so
it and it
fast.
came right up.
What? Really?
Yes.
Maybe I can
It's on
screen
Kat Cho's
share.
website.
Oh.
Oh,
Mhm.
Okay, can you screen share?
Oh, maybe. Do I click
Because
present?
maybe, yeah, we could do it together before Yoon has to disappear.
Okay.
I think I can stick for one quiz time, and then I
Is
will
it
have
showing
to go.
up?
No.
No.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'm sorry. Yeah, hang on. Add to stream.
Ah!
There we go.
All right, cool. Should we do Yoon's first in case Yoon needs to leave?
Yeah. Well, so
Okay.
we could all do it on our own devices and end at the same time, but discuss what we're choosing as we go, if you guys want.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let me.
Okay. What's on her website?
So I just Googled like WDB bias, I think. And it came up. It was like the first result on ktrowrites.com.
Ah. Yeah, take the quiz now.
Oh my gosh, you're right! Yay! That's so exciting. I didn't think to search for bias. Maybe that's why it didn't come up.
Yeah, because WDB could be like whatever, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
who even knows? Makes me
Okay.
think of WD-40 for some reason.
Okay,
All right.
let's
So
do it.
you guys all have it?
I do have it.
Yes.
All right,
They don't
cool.
have pink. I would totally choose pink as my
Favorite
color.
Mine's yellow.
Mine is
Mine
red.
too. Okay. And then pick a favorite food.
That's
Oh,
too many.
Korean barbecue for sure for me out of
Probably,
you. I don't
yeah.
even have to think about it.
Ooh. Yeah, there's such a
Ooh.
variety of food there.
K-pop
They
fashion
do.
style.
K-pop fashion style. Oh my god.
I think I'm
Oh, I don't
sporty or
know.
retro.
Probably formal.
Maybe retro
Oh
for me.
man.
I really like formal. I love K-pop boys in suits. I'm just keeping
I'm
it real.
all punk all the time.
I mean, I
And
don't
then-
dislike any of them, honestly.
True.
Okay. I'm naturally talented.
I know, that's what I was just laughing at. I would probably get advice from mentors because I hate making decisions. So I like to get input from as many people as possible.
Okay.
I'd love to say my work-life balance would be great, but it probably would not be.
끝날 거야. 기다려. Okay. I don't know how I would train. I think I'll just do work life for now.
Good job.
I'll go for mentors too.
True, that's true. Or would they help me, you know?
Yes. Okay.
I
Relax after a hard day.
Reading is not an option, guys.
TV's the
Oh,
next best
no.
one.
I would probably
think
choose video
take a
games
walk.
because I play video games anyway. So
Mm.
And then season.
Pick a favorite season.
fall for me.
Fall for me too.
I'm a fall girl.
Same.
I don't care how basic it is. A favorite K-pop song.
I think of these.
Oh, wow.
I think I'll have to pick the 21 song.
I haven't even like heard all of these.
I haven't either. I'll
I don't
go
know
for
if it'll be
IU.
IU or BTS.
I love IU. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go
21.
with IU for this one.
Same. What did you get?
Oh, I got Jam!
Me too.
I got Monster.
Yeah. You got the one that you actually said was your bias.
Yes.
So accurate.
Being his most introverted, he often looks clueless. He is highly food motivated.
Okay,
Same.
guys, I have to go.
Okay.
But this was really fun.
Thank you, Yoon. Thank you so much for
Me for
coming.
all this. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye,
Enjoy your
everyone.
lunch. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Oh my gosh, that
Crystal
was
got
so
Jen.
fun.
Crystal did it too, and she got Jen. This was fun to do together. That was not in the plans, and I love that we did this.
Yes, I'm so glad you found it. I was really disappointed when I couldn't.
Found
I
it
don't know
like
how I could.
immediately. I was like, I'll see. I'll just Google really quick, and it was like right there. So that was really
I'm
fun.
so glad you did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, this is why when I say I'm bad at research, I really mean it. I apparently don't know what basic search terms to use.
You know what? That's why God put us together. We complement each other well in that.
Yes. Okay.
Fun.
So, okay, let's what did we skip? We skipped a couple, I think. Which romance did you enjoy?
I don't know. They were all kind of equal for me, I guess maybe Robbie and Elena. I was more invested in that than I was in like JD and Soon Young or Josie and Max. Like I was not invested in that at all, you know?
Yeah. It just like appeared suddenly. That one did.
Yeah. I liked Soon Young though, but like I don't know how invested I was in their relationship. I just really liked her. So probably Robbie and Elena, I guess.
I think I would agree with that because we take a real journey with that romance.
We do. We do.
All right. And then so I was really curious about if this, it seems like every other K-pop book that I've read or even heard of, it's like usually based on another group, but my research skills failed me again. And I couldn't find if there was someone that Kat Cho specifically was basing this off of. But I was just going by like, okay, who is friends with all these people? Like, it can't obviously be those groups because those obviously exist in this world.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be Stray Kids. It can't be ATs. Can't be the boys. Also, I love that she included the boys.
I mean, I thought of, I don't even know, like, because there's not a lot of groups that I have done a lot of research on the members. Honestly, there's only a few that I've cared enough to really like delve deep. But doesn't TXT have 5 members?
Yes.
So that made me think like TXT, but like I don't know anything about their personalities. I haven't done that much research on them. I love several of their songs, but I don't listen to them like super in depth. So I don't know if there's really a tie between those two groups, but I thought I'm like a boy group that has 5 members. That's what popped in my head because I'm like BTS has 7 and Hypen has 7. Like, you know,
that's
so
a good point. I guess I was trying to think. I was thinking it had to be like a group that came from a new company where they were like the first group from this company. So
that would
like
make
BTS
sense.
for Hybe, you know,
right?
Because it was a new company, and TXT was after BTS,
right?
But I
Like
honestly can't.
After.
Yeah, but I'm honestly not sure of a ton of smaller companies. Like obviously ATs came from a smaller company, but it wasn't ATs. So I don't know.
Crystal,
I don't know.
if you're still here, do you have any thoughts? Because I know Crystal listens to a bunch of different groups that I don't.
She's informed.
So Crystal may know. I don't know, or may have thoughts on this.
If you have thoughts, Crystal, let us know. Okay. Otherwise, we can move on to our final question. Oh, hang on.
She said BTS.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's true.
That would
How
make
global they
sense.
were, and like kind of putting K-pop more on the map, because BTS definitely did that.
Yes. Yeah, because she did say they were the first group to do all these things like in America. So that
true.
seems reasonable.
So then is Robbie JK? The Magne.
Because he's the Magne.
Yeah.
But none of BTS speaks English or is from America.
No,
So
RM
I
speaks
know
really
actually
good
RM
English.
speaks really good English. Yeah, you're right. But he didn't. He
He's
wasn't
not a
from.
JD. None of them really seem like a JD.
You know what though? Robbie was Robbie born in America or was he born in Korea and then moved to America for a time? Now I
It
can't remember.
sounded like he might have. His parents were for sure from Seoul because they were moving back to Seoul, and they were never
Right.
planning to live in America permanently. They were helping like Robbie's like uncle or something like that. Like his dad was helping like his brother with a business that he started in America. So it's possible that Robbie was born in Seoul, but he may have been born in America and then they were always planning to move back to Seoul. So either way, like I'm not really sure where he was born.
Yeah. I guess I don't remember now. So I guess it could totally fit. I mean, because not everybody can learn English from watching Friends, like like
Not everyone's
Namjoon
big
did.
brain like Namjoon.
I mean, a lot of people would have to move to a country to learn a language totally fluently. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you
Now I'm
for
like trying to
weighing
figure
in.
out like who is who here.
I know, right?
If it's
Okay.
BTS. If it's BTS.
Man, who would JD be? I feel like nobody in BTS is like JD.
I feel like Suga looks like that, but he's not. Like
Yeah.
he has this like look like I will kill you.
Yes.
And also he says he needs a schedule. Suga's like work, sleep, eat. That's all I do. But
Yeah.
But he's
Oh my
not really like
gosh. Yes, I could see that
that's
for
fun.
sure. Yeah, I could see that. Okay.
Crystal,
Yeah,
I'm so
now I'm
glad
like,
you're here. This is making
yes.
that more fun to compare.
Thank you, Crystal, for adding your perspective.
We'll have to ask Yoon later that question to see if she thought of any groups.
Yes.
How many members are in Plave? Actually, Plave
I know,
came
right?
out after this.
Yeah, I mean, there's even when I saw the illustrations for the WDBD members, I was like, Plave.
They do look like Plave.
Yeah.
Plave is revolutionary in their own way, but
yes.
I'm pretty sure Plave is really new though, and this book is not as new.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Plave knew the world was ready because Once Upon a Kprom illustrated the members of WDB.
WDB walked so Plave could run.
Yes. Okay. What elements aligned with what you know of K-pop and what elements didn't? Do you have any thoughts on this, Tiffany?
I mean, like the intense group loyalty and the things that Robbie was willing to do for the sake of the group, for the sake of JD, the pressure and like how everything's so public and everything, like the netizens and the different chats, like all those things that like all this stuff coming up against Elena. Like I feel like that is very true.
Yes. I was like actually really pleasantly surprised that Elena had fans among Robbie's fans.
Yeah.
I would have expected more hate on Elena actually than she got, but she obviously did get some, but I was actually like, oh, this fandom is not as toxic as some.
Well, Christy and I are both reading If I Had Your Face right now. I'm further along than Christy, and this is not spoilery, but one of the characters is obsessed with a K-pop group. And her favorite member of the K-pop group there's like a dating scandal that like there are rumors happening about it, and there are people that are like ready to nail this other girl to the wall because she's from a different K-pop group, because they're like, oh my gosh, he can't date her, she's the worst, you know, and like all this stuff. And so I was like, wow, this is very different from Once Upon a Kprom.
Yes. We like a happy fandom.
For sure. Less toxic, the better. Thank you.
Oh, maybe the author brought in
That
her
would
biases
be-
for her fave groups for the members. I love that idea.
She did mention some bands that she loved at the end, I think, in her author's note.
Oh my gosh, did she?
She did.
I think
Hang
I
on.
didn't read it.
Let me find out. That's how I found out Kat Cho is Axio's cousin. Is from
From the bio?
No, from her author's note.
From her author's note?
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Hang on.
From acknowledgements?
So she talks about GD, Finn Kale, and Lee Hiyori. She talks about Spring Day. She talks about RM. So she's definitely a BTS fan.
Mm-hmm. She mentions
HOT, which I have
Taemin.
not listened to them, so they may be like old.
Yeah, I think they're an earlier generation group.
Mm-hmm.
But she mentions Taemin in her acknowledgements.
Yes, that's right. She mentions Taemin too.
I love that.
So, like, she does talk about some specific. She specifically mentions RM's dimples, which is his dimples are clearly patterned after RM's. The way that she she talks in the author's note.
Oh, to G Dragon. Okay, GD is G Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. I didn't read this.
I would say BTS is the most prominently mentioned, but not the only one.
Yeah. They seem like, I feel like in Korea, they're still probably like the most popular. Like everybody is kind of fond of BTS, seems like in Korea.
BTS is the gateway to K-pop. I'm just saying. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people start with BTS and then they start listening to other stuff. And it was a while
Yes.
before I was ready to move on to any other groups because I was so just like enamored with BTS and how wholesome they are and their whole vibe. And I was like, I don't want to listen to anyone else. I really like BTS. Plus they had such like a long like discography. So I had so much to listen to.
Yes, there's so much BTS content out there. Like, yeah, it's amazing.
Because in case anyone was wondering, I am like a Butter era fan. That's like when I started. Butter and Dope were the very first music videos by them that I watched, and they were both because of Christy. Christy is one of the main influences in my life, and then my daughter and I became obsessed with K-pop, and that was like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and we haven't looked back.
Yay! Nope, definitely not.
Nope.
It's been a great time, honestly.
Yes.
Everybody does love Taemin.
Yes, I love Taemin.
Oh, yes. I was so happy when he
randomly
finished.
say that, like, never get the key to my lock for no reason. And I don't know why I do it, but I do. Because I love the way he says it. I think it's so cute.
You never get the key to my lock. Yes. I love that. His solo stuff is amazing, but I love Shiny as well. Okay. So, okay, some things that I thought were realistic or not. So it didn't seem realistic, honestly, to me yet that Robbie and Elena would just start dating openly. That just seems like it is so rare. Even with groups like ATs who are allowed to date, there's no dating ban. They also don't date openly. So, but maybe this is a future, it's envisioning the future. I feel like this era of fans is more open potentially to their idols dating. Whereas I feel like in the past, maybe they were less open to it, but I don't, maybe it's because it's more of an international thing now. Okay, Kevin's like, it's dinner time. So I guess I have to get going. But it's Kevin's birthday dinner, so he can call the shots tonight.
For sure. Happy birthday, Kevin.
Happy birthday, yes. He gives you the double thumbs up. That's a serious sign of affection.
Wow. Maybe
Double
I shouldn't make the joke I was just going to make about him being a closet army then. If I got a double
my
thumbs
gosh.
up.
He would love that.
I usually rag him about that. Worst day is watching Care Bears. So
yes. Oh. Okay. I guess we had better end it here. But I'm really pleased with how long we were able to discuss because I wasn't necessarily sure that we would have like super vibrant discussion about this, but there was like plenty to talk about.
yes,
Yay.
this was really fun. It really fit the bill for Ktropeathon for sure.
Yeah. And Yoon, I think, is the one who had it in our poll. She was the one who was like, I've read this, it would be perfect. And she was so right.
She suggested it. So thank you, Yoon.
Yes. Thank you, Yoon. And well, this will be our last Ktropeathon event. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Crystal. Easy to become obsessed. Yes.
For sure.
It is a slippery slope. Thank you so much, Crystal, for being like our #1 Ktropeathon fan.
Yeah, I love all of your posts in Discord. They're so fun. So glad that you're part of this.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have been the same without you, Crystal. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm planning on doing it again and dragging Tiffany and Yoon along with me.
You won't have to drag me, girl. I'm like in step. Let's go. I'm linking arms.
Yes. And actually, it's really thanks to Tiffany that it ended up happening because I was feeling very insecure about hosting an Asian readathon, So thank you so much for Tiffany's help on this. Yes, it was so nice.
Yes, I'm glad I met you through this, Crystal.
Same. So, okay, this is the end of Ktropeathon. Thank you again so much for all of your participation. And let us know if you're watching this on replay, your thoughts in the comments. And we will see you next year, but we'll also be on our channels if you want to talk to us before the next Ktropeathon.
Yeah.
But we'll plan to do it again. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.